Residents of Toekomsrus in Randfontein are accusing the government of not following the right processes when allocating newly built homes. Some residents have since taken into other homes illegally and are refusing to move out. They are now calling the Department of Human Settlements, or calling on them to give them ownership documents. Tahir Sema is the department's head of communications in Gauteng, and he joins us now to take a look at the situation in Toekomsrus. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon. Newzroom Afrika was in Toekomsrus this weekend, and this is what our reporter Gauteng unearthed when speaking to some of the residents. This is just some of the allegations that were made. Let's take a look, listen at this.
We say to government, since this is the first project in our community, we had just asked for 70% of the people of Toekomsrus to be allocated here because it's a multi-million-year project. It's a multi-year project for 10 years. I was one of the residents working here. And so what happened is that they never did it. We even had meetings with the councillors. The councillors never even were part of this movement. No, not all stakeholders were part of this. We didn't have human settlement coming out. The councillors did not come out to tell us that there's so many houses being completed. So many people will then move of Toekomsrus will be allocated there, and the other people will come. Instead of that, overnight, when the MMC left on that Thursday after the meeting, people just got SMSs to come through that houses have been allocated, which was not the right process because all the stakeholders did not have a meeting with everyone in the community. So then they gave out keys out of a house, a car's boot, we can say, to say that the MEC Milo was not here himself, the MMC of Human Settlement of Randfontein was not here, and so how do you get the powers to allocate people as contractors? And most of the people that were allocated here were people from Krugersdorp, which is from Mogale, and this is a Western mega project, so meaning people of Western mega should benefit. Now what they did is that they also allocated houses to people which are not completed. As you've mentioned, there's no water. There's no electricity. Water and sanitation, it's a #1 priority, which is a basic human right. So now they did not follow that. And we decided as residents of Toekomsrus, because our people are not benefiting now from this project, we might as well go to those houses and invade those houses because we are residents of Toekomsrus, and then we all benefit.
Mr. Tahir Sema speaks for the Department of, is the communications head rather for the housing department in Gauteng. Sir, to your knowledge, what's going on in Toekomsrus?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. It is unfortunate that some members of this community opted to illegally invade houses in our Western mega project. This project is a mega project, and this year it yielded about 300 houses, 360 houses to be exact. Unfortunately, by April this year, all 360 houses were illegally invaded. So that's the situation right now. There are people who are approved, who were supposed to have been allocated in those houses that are waiting for those houses. So we had an engagement with the community, with those people that had occupied those houses, and we had indicated to them that what you are doing is illegal, and we will be looking at evicting you very soon from those houses so that it can go to the rightful beneficiaries. So there is a process in terms of applications. You first have to apply, then you are put onto the housing waiting list. Then we assess where you live and your financial condition, and based on that we allocate and approve you to any housing project. It's unfortunate that some members of the community have now decided to use race with regards to dividing the community. When we allocate, we don't look at race at all. So this mega project, we are allocating people predominantly, yes, from Toekomsrus. But naturally, given the size and scale of this project, there will be people from other areas in the immediate surrounds that we will be allocating to. Unfortunately, certain members of the community were not happy with that, and then they decided to illegally invade this project. So we will be appealing to this community to follow the letter of the law, do not do illegal actions as some of them have done and allow us to allocate. So currently we have a list of approved beneficiaries. People from Toekomsrus have applied and we are allocating them.
Okay. In terms of prioritization, how do you know who has been there since the beginning and who just came? Because the people of Toekomsrus are accusing people from Krugersdorp who are being brought into Toekomsrus rather to occupy these houses. And so in terms of your list, because there's also the accusation that from a boot of a car, keys of houses, these RDP houses, were handed out to the wrong beneficiaries. How do you assess who is the right and the wrong beneficiary?
So it's quite easy. What we do is we look at the people that have applied and those that have been approved from the area that feeds the Western Mega Project. Then we have a priority list. Those that applied between 1996 and 1999 will be prioritized. Child-headed households will be prioritized as well, together with the elderly. Then we also look at the areas upon which are feeding the Western Mega Project. So as it stands, we are prioritizing in Toekomsrus, Ward 3, Ward 8, and Ward 20, and we're also prioritizing dump site, Ward 8 as a priority. And we got about 160 people from these communities that we have approved. Now we are also allocating to people from the immediate surrounding area as well that do qualify. So we have a criteria upon which we allocate. This is not done willy-nilly. It is done based on systems and policies that govern how we allocate houses. Okay. Our officials are on the ground and will be allocating to the rightful beneficiaries. If you have applied and if you have been approved and you are from the priority areas, then you will get allocated. If you have not been allocated, our appeal is that you go to one of our customer support centers, apply for a subsidy, but allow those who have been approved and who have been waiting for many years on the waiting list to be allocated in their rightful homes.
In fact, Mr. Sema, Newzroom Africa's reporter Katlego Sekgoto over the weekend spoke to many residents who said they'd been waiting since 1994 for this dream to be realized, only for waters to be muddied. And so this Western Mega Project, who is the contractor? How much has the contractor received? How much of the work has been completed? Because we also found out over the weekend that there are structures that are incomplete.
So this housing project is a massive housing project. It is expected to yield about 9,000 mixed housing use developments. So there will be houses that are at various stages of completion. So this project, during this current financial year, we had instructed the contractor to develop 360 units. Those units will complete. However, there is construction on the site and there are houses at various levels of completion. Some of these houses are at 90% complete, some of them are at 95% complete, some of them have water, some of them are yet to be electrified. So they are at various levels of completion. However, this is a very important project and it's the first of its kind since 1994 for this community. And so we're appealing to the community to protect this project, to apply timeously, don't attempt to jump the housing waiting list. There's 1.1 million people waiting for housing in Gauteng. And we have a system that we work with. And so we're asking the community to work with us, don't engage in illegal acts of taking over these units when it does not belong to you.
Mr. Sema, can we just visit or revisit this moment? This is what we also heard from community members.
Currently, as we're speaking, the project is continuing. On the other side, they're busy with building phase 2. They've not even finished yet. So what are they saying to us? Why are they not finishing here? So we are saying to them, we are going nowhere. No one is going to move out here. We will only move out with our bags here. We have, from the youngest, we have people from the age of 22, which are parents. They move out of their families' houses because it's the grandmother's house, continuous fight. We even have up to the eldest at the age of 84. So you must tell me, where should we go if they say we must leave this place? Because this is where we are born and bred. This is our community. And we're not going to let other people come from all over and come and benefit without us benefiting and having to watch on every project. This time, it's ending and we are not going anywhere.
Mr. Sema, so you've got phase 2, which is allegedly going on. And so when you speak of these structures that are not done, the community members also speak of that. And so do you have one service provider? Do you have 2 service providers? How often do you check in with the service providers? Because you've got somebody who's even 84 years old. There was an elderly woman that Newzroom Afrika spoke to who said that, well, I will move here over my dead body.
So there is a developer and then there are subcontractors. So given the size and the scale of this project, construction will be continuing, and it's a multi-year project. It is expected to yield more than 9,000 units. So the construction will be going on for many years to come.
What's many years, Mr. Sema?
So currently for this financial year, it yielded 360 units. And with each successive financial year, as we get budget allocated to us as a department, we will then allocate more units for construction. But the number of units is not the issue of, or the bone of contention here. The bone of contention is the units remain illegally invaded.
Okay. You mentioned budget that is allocated. So for these 360 units, what was the budget?
So the exact amount I will have to get back to you on. I don't have it off the tip of my fingers. However, the 360 units were completed in this financial year, and we have a plan to complete and build a number of units in the next financial year and even in the financial year after that.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Tahir Sema is Head of Communications at the Gauteng Department of Human Settlements.